system. Good evening and welcome to our regular scheduled School District of Osceola County Board meeting for Tuesday, December 9th. Thank you so much for being with us here tonight. We're excited to welcome you into our newly renovated facility. We're happy to be here, even though we were very thankful to Gateway High School and what a wonderful host they were during the last few months while we were there. Tonight we will have our invocation delivered by Pastor Varian Jeffers, Solid Rock Community Church. Pledge of Allegiance led by Lester Yates, Director of Safety and Security and Emergency Management. National Anthem will be performed by a student from Osceola Science Charter. Our mission statement will be read by Giselle Lee, our staff attorney, and interpretation services will be provided by Naira Elvira, bilingual community liaison and Spanish interpreter. If you would now stand with us.
Let's all pray. Gracious Father, we thank you for the gift of this day and for another opportunity to meet in service of our students, our families, and our community. We ask your wisdom upon this commission as they meet. We ask, Lord God, that you will meet us here. We thank you for every staff member, every commission member, every educator, every family that is represented here. We ask that your grace and your blessing will fall upon them. And we ask that everything that is done today will be done in unity with one goal: to create spaces that uplift and empower the students of our district. All this we ask in your holy name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, their bombs bursting air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I just have to let you know, some of my fellow board members and I and Dr. Shanoff saw her sing the national anthem at the Alianza Hispanic Heritage Month event earlier this fall, and we were amazed by her voice at such a young age and said she's got to come in and sing the national anthem for us. You did an amazing job. Good job. Thank you so much. Oh.
Can you hear? The school district of no. The School District of Osceola County's mission statement is inspiring all learners to reach their highest potential as responsible, productive citizens.
Good evening. I am Naira Alvira and I'm here to provide interpretation services. Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Naira Alvira y estoy aquí para proveer servicio de interpretación.
We will start our evening with our positive comments from our board members and our superintendent, Dr. Shanoff, if you'd like to start.
Thank you. First of all, welcome everyone. This is a little surreal to think that it just it doesn't feel like our boardroom, but it is our boardroom. So welcome to everyone. As you know, this room has been under construction for several months because we knew that there were so many things that the last boardroom lacked. It lacked sound quality, it lacked video quality, it wasn't ADA compliant, among a lot of other things. So we knew that there was a project that needed to be done. So we had to pivot and we had to go to one of our schools to hold our meetings. Well, the schools don't necessarily volunteer for these types of things. We just kind of impose on them. And it made perfect sense for us to impose on Gateway High School being down the street. So I want to thank Mr. Long, his administrative team, his custodial team, his IT team. They all poured in to make sure that we were able to create an environment that was as close to a boardroom as we could possibly get. Their hospitality was amazing. We're so grateful, and I just wanted to take a moment to recognize Mr. Long and his team for their generosity and their leadership as we had this room under construction. Where do you want us? Initiate real quick back here so we can get the logo. We'll take it back. And if the board members want to stand up, they can be in the picture, correct?
Yeah, okay, standing up. Sure.
But wait, there's more. So I want to take a moment and even though we've had a board meeting since we had Basket Brigade, we had some incredible partners that supported our efforts in Basket Brigade. So if you recall last month, I'm sure you all do, last month when I brought up Basket Brigade, I mentioned that last year we were able to distribute 500 baskets of food to needy families. This year we distributed 1,041 baskets to our families. This was an incredible effort, but we had support along the way. So I want to take a moment to recognize a few businesses that supported us. And I would like everybody to know that these businesses supported our efforts. So the first would be New York Bakery Boys. Are they here? Upper Crust Pizza.
Just those two make me hungry. And then I know this one's here. Value Store It and U-Haul of Celebration. I just have quick three just bullets I need to hit. This is in honor of Miss Bronson. So I want to thank those that participate. It's my messages, but it's even though it's I'm like using Miss Bronson's time. So we had an intern reception. It's one of the unique qualities that we have here in Osceola County, where I get the opportunity to meet the interns that are working in our district. And I want to thank the HR team for always ensuring that our interns get FaceTime with Dr. Allen and myself. So then we can actually share with them the opportunities that are available to them, make sure that they're wanted within our district. We want them in our community. We want them in our schools. I also want to thank Dr. Peñalosa on the Educational Choice and Innovations team for a phenomenal choice fair. This is always a marquee event for us. So almost 6,000 families were there. It was packed, and it was just phenomenal. I want to thank all of our school teams. I want to thank all of our departments that were there to support us. It was just a great event all the way around. And then lastly, I got a chance to finish up my student success talks last week. That's the town hall tour of the fall. And I want to thank community relations for always getting everything set up and ready to go. So then when I walk in at 5 o'clock, we're ready to roll. And so I just want to thank all of our principals that hosted and community relations, the team that did such a phenomenal job. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Ms. Garcia, you are now recognized.
Okay. I did the training and I forgot. We're learning. And I just want to share a few tips, safety tips for this winter break and for the parents. Just online safety, just be aware of your children. And in this time of this digital activity, just a reminder not to share personal information. Be aware of your kids while they're at home. And if you can put one of those safety features or apps for your children, that will be fantastic. If you're traveling, always wear your seatbelt and be aware of the traffic. Just leave early that day. And at home, check your smoke detectors. Keep space heaters away from items and unplug decorations. I work at the fire department. That's my full-time job. And we did a demonstration of a Christmas tree. It was completely dry, and in less than 30 seconds, it was completely destroyed. And in a minute, the entire room was completely destroyed. Just be aware, water your trees, and not over like plugging a lot of items in one extension. That's another thing. And we also recognize that the holidays can be joyful, but for some other people, it's a time that they are memories, they're struggling with different things. Just be aware of that. Just visit your neighbor, just spread that happiness and joy. And if you want to donate time, your kids, bring them to nonprofits like Council on Aging, Health Now of Osceola, and give that time. That might help them during that period that they're stressed because of certain things that we have in the families. So serving together can bring comfort and purpose. Visit a neighbor, as I mentioned, and take your kids to those places. And the other thing, as we enter this beautiful season of hope and gratitude, I want to wish all our Osceola County families a Merry Christmas and a joyful holiday season. And the most important thing is that we need to remember the true reason for this season, the birth of our Savior, whose light brings hope, peace, and love to the world. And let's open our hearts and show compassion and love to one another, reflecting the light of our Savior. Merry Christmas y Feliz Día de Reyes.
Mr. Cook, you're now recognized.
My turn. I'm so proud of you. Even that last shout out. Okay, okay, La Reina. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this as I can't help it with her. I can't. And she made look. She got on me for I didn't touch my mic. My mic is on. She said, "Don't touch the mic, Anthony." Who touched their mic? Bethsaida. Retroactively, I want to give a shout out to some District 3 schools that were PBIS schools of excellence, positive behavior intervention supports. That would be Bella Lago, school that I opened, so always got to show love to Bella Lago, Reedy Creek, Horizon, Sunrise, and Pleasant Hill Elementary. So shout out to them for creating those safe, supportive, and inclusive learning environments through their PBIS frameworks. Secondly, Deerwood, they're sending 2 students to the all-state ensembles. So shout out to Delilah, who is an all-state Southern Regional Ensemble. That's what she'd be representing Deerwood. And then Ariel, who will be representing Deerwood in the all-state ORF Ensemble. And then like my one big positive comment that sat with me over the past couple of weeks is as I've been out in the community grocery shopping and things like that. I've been really impressed with the parents that I've run into. While there may be some challenging situations going on at the schools, it really is about, Mr. Cook, how can we get this resolved? So shout out to the parents that are bringing the issues to the forefront, and then shout out to the leadership team in the schools. When I've reached out, it's been within 24 hours that somebody's gotten back to the parents. And within 24 to 48 hours, the issues have been resolved. Ran into one of my pharmacists up at Publix. But 2 days later, I ran back up there. She was like, "Mr. Cook, everything's good. I'm happy. My kid's happy. I love y'all, and I love you too. Yes, that's what we want, right?" So, while it can be crazy and busy around the holidays, and we've done some things this year that we're sorting through and getting through. I've been really impressed with the team's collaboration, with the parents' collaboration, the school's collaboration. So, just want to give a shout out to everybody here in the community for working together to position our students to be in the best position that they could possibly be in.
Ms. Castillo, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Chair. Okay. I'm going to be short with my comments because I do have a guest. No problem. We're learning. I do have a guest, and I want to yield some of my time to them as well. I'm glad to have spent some time with my fellow board members and Superintendent Shainoff, as well as board members from all over the state at this winter conference for the Florida School Board Association. It's great to really see that our board is really helping at the state level. So we have our vice president here. We have one of the board members here. And this year I'm also serving in the equity committee. And it's always great to get some education and some time with other board members to see what they're going through and what are their best practices. And this conference, we focus a lot on AI, and I'm really happy to know that we've already adopted some policy surrounding AI, which is something that other boards are still contending with. So once again, Osceola at the forefront of education. And now I want to go ahead and yield some of my time to one of my guests, the Central Florida Indian community. I know that I have 2 folks represented. And before they come up, I just want to let you know why I'm recognizing them today. We just recognize some community partners, and we know that we are not able to serve our entire community on our own. We rely on incredible community partners that see the needs in our schools and show up consistently. And the Central Florida Indian community is one of those incredible community partners. For the past I think 2 years at least, they have been providing lunches, gifts, classes, supplies for the students and families at Central Florida or Central Avenue Elementary. And they have just expanded their reach not only to that school, but they've adopted other schools, including Knightsbridge, Knights Point, which is in my district. So I just really wanted to recognize them and lift them up because they have consistently shown up for our community. And I'm just really happy to be able to work with them. So with that, I'm going to ask you to come up to the front, please.
Dear respected the board, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Ms. Castillo. Thank you for giving the opportunity. The Central Florida Indian Community, CFIC, is a civic organization. Like-minded people, we come together to help the local schools and the local families who are having the challenges. So that's why we are serving in 4 counties: Seminole, Orange, Osceola, and Volusia, impacting 3,000 homeless school kids and the shelter homes. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
I have a few things to recognize today, too. I want to say a big thank you to Advent Health, Orlando Magic, Florida Citrus Sports, and Second Harvest Food Bank. I was invited a week ago to the Drive Out Hunger Food Drive, where they are putting together grants for our schools to ensure families don't go hungry during the Christmas break. And they are also have a bus that's decked out for the holidays that they're driving around and collecting food donations. So it was really great to see, again, our community partners coming together to help us support our students because it does take a village. Additionally, I'm going to highlight them at our next board meeting, but it just happened this week. So I want to mention them, but you'll see them at our next board meeting. There was a group of young ladies at Neo City Academy, the Neo City Women in STEM group, that hosted their first inaugural women's panel last week. And I was in attendance along with Mr. Long's wife was there and a few other very impressive women leaders in our community, and it was a great evening. They hosted it on a Friday night, so that was definitely questionable in my head of like, I hope people are going to come out, but they had their entire room filled with attendees. They had a panel where they asked us lots of questions. They had food. It was decorated to the nines, like if you were in a wedding reception almost, so it was beautiful. They did a lovely job, and they were just very impressive young women. I want to also recognize our students, our seniors that are getting their college acceptances in. My own son got his first college acceptance to UCF this past week. So I know as a mother of a child how right now it's like nerve-wracking wondering, what acceptances they're going to get. And so I feel for all those parents out there that are in the same situation as us, but it's an exciting time looking to the future of, what's beyond Osceola County School District for our students. And then finally, I attended the St. Cloud Christmas Parade and Craft Show this weekend. Ms. Bronson was in the parade, and so I'm sure when she is feeling better, she'll mention it. But it was a great time to see our students out there showing off what they do. We had a lot of our schools represented as far as some of our ROTC programs, our bands, our cheerleaders. And then we also even had some young vendors. So they had an area set up that was for young entrepreneurs selling the items that they've crafted. And I saw some kids with bracelets and different items. So it was great to see those kids out there kind of doing their thing at such a young age. With that, we are done with positive comments, and we're moving on to our fine arts moment. It's going to be performed by the St. Cloud High School Harmonics.
Rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Dum dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum 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 ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum dum bum bum. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum 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 bum ticka dum ticka dum bum bum. In Bethlehem in Israel this blessed day was born, and laid within a manger upon this blessed farm, in which his mother Mary did nothing take his scorn. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum bum bum ticka dum ticka dum bum bum. Fear nothing, said the angel, and nothing you affright. This day is born a Savior of a pure virgin right, to free all those who trust in him from Satan's power and might. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum bum bum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum bum bum. Da 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 da. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum bum bum ticka dum ticka dum ticka dum bum bum. Hey! Here they come with a happy song. Here they come, let's all sing along. Oh, jingle bells, jingle jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Hee hee ho ho, hey! Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to laugh and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells,
that doesn't put you in the holiday spirit, I don't know what will. All right, we are going to now recess our current meeting for our public hearing, Rulemaking Cycle B, 2025-2026. Mr. Boyd, you have the floor.
Board members, tonight at this public hearing, we'll read into the record a second reading of the proposed revisions for the school board rules, pause for the public to have an opportunity for comment, and then ask for you to take action at the end. So I'll begin with the summary. Rule 2.23, School Board Rules and Policy Process, revises the entire policy to reorganize existing language and add language to clarify statutory requirements for school board rules and the policymaking process. 2.25, School Board Adopted Plans, adds titles to paragraphs 1 and 2, adds Employee Handbook, Employee Orientation Companion Guide, and grants Management Procedures Manual to the list of procedures documents. Rule 3.23, Emergencies, revises paragraphs 14 and 16 to align with federal guidance relating to the compensation of employees who are assigned to work during emergencies. Rule 3.25, Automatic External Defibrillator, revises paragraphs 2 through 5 to comply with House Bill 1607, which creates Section 1003.457 Florida statutes. Rule 3.40, Safe and Secure Schools, revises paragraph 9 to comply with recent changes to Section 1006.07 Florida statutes. Rule 5.25, Foreign Exchange Students, revises paragraph 1 to comply with updated federal information. Rule 5.32, Zero Tolerance for Crimes and Victimization, adds paragraph 9 to comply with recent changes to Section 1006.07 Florida statutes. Rule 5.40, Student Attendance, revises paragraph 3 to comply with recent changes to sections 985.03 and 1003.27 Florida statutes. Rule 5.62, Administration of Medication, revises paragraph 2 to comply with recent changes to section 1002.20 Florida statutes. Rule 6.17, Appointment or Employee Requirements, revises paragraphs 4 and 5 to comply with recent changes to sections 1012.22 and 1012.799 Florida statutes, and State Board of Education Rule 6A-10.081, Principles of Professional Conduct for the Education Profession in Florida. Rule 6.143, Employment of Non-Degreed Personnel, revises paragraph 1 and adds paragraph 2 to comply with recent changes to section 1012.39 Florida statutes. Rule 6.30, Violation of Local, State, or Federal Laws, revises paragraph 3 to comply with recent changes to sections 1012.22 and 1012.799 Florida statutes, and State Board of Education Rule 6A-10.081, Principles of Professional Conduct for the Education Profession in Florida. Rule 7.25, Grants Management, adds titles to paragraphs 1 through 3, revises paragraph 6.c and 6.g to add requirements related to record keeping, revises citations to align the policy language with federal grant requirements within U.S. Code of Federal Regulations to CFR 200, and then there is a web address there for you in the summary. Rule 8.18, Disaster Preparedness, revises paragraph 4 and adds paragraph 6 to align with federal guidance relating to the compensation of employees who are assigned to work during disasters. Rule 8.31, Student Transportation, adds paragraph 5 to comply with recent changes to section 810.097 Florida statutes. Rule 8.51, Renovations or Remodeling of Facilities, deletes paragraph 1 to remove obsolete policy language. Rule 8.52, Change Orders, revises policy language throughout to align with requirements with Osceola County School Board Rule 7.70, adds paragraph 4 to comply with recent changes to section 218.755 Florida statutes. Rule 9.60, Visitors, revises paragraph 5 to clarify that school principals have discretion to approve or disapprove classroom observation visits. The Code of Student Conduct on page 26 would be revised in section 3, Parent and Student Notifications, Cell Phone Policy for Student, to state, Wireless communication devices include, but are not limited to, cell phones, smart glasses, tablets, smartwatches, cameras, and/or similarly situated wireless devices in development. And then the student progression plan on pages 13 and then 107 through 110 deletes all references to certificates of completion in order to comply with recent changes to section 1003.4282 Florida statutes, which was House Bill 1105 in the last session. That completes the summary of the proposed revisions to the school board rules. I'll pause at this time for the public hearing.
At this time, I have no requests to speak. Is there anyone in the audience requesting to speak to this rulemaking cycle? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Is there any commentary by the board? Okay, with that, discussion is closed.
All right. So now we would ask for the action to be taken on the proposed rule changes.
Do I have a motion? Would you like to speak? I have a motion by Mr. Cook, a second by Ms. Castillo. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, board. Merry Christmas.
Now we are moving on to our public hearing for rezoning. Ms. Blake, you have the floor.
Good evening. Good evening, Chair Cahoon and school board members. I'm Rhonda Blake, Director of Planning Services, and I'm here this evening on behalf of the district-wide rezoning committee to present the proposed rezoning plan to you for consideration. The plan impacts Reedy Creek Elementary and Sunrise Elementary schools, as big changes are on the horizon at Reedy Creek Elementary. Thanks to the overwhelming support of the voters through our half-cent sales tax referendum, the school is gearing up for a very transformational journey. As the sixth priority project on the list, Reedy Creek is not just being renovated, it's being reimagined from the ground up. The brand new Reedy Creek Elementary School, grades K through 5, is on track to welcome students for the 26-27 school year and will be featuring modern learning spaces, cutting-edge technology, and an inspiring environment designed for the future of education. The excitement is building, and tonight we're here to take the next step forward. The purpose of the public hearing is to request the school board to approve and adopt the proposed attendance zone boundaries as presented, with the new plans becoming effective July 1st, 2026. Representatives, both parents and staffs of the two existing schools, along with district staff, were involved in the preparation of the information that will be presented this evening. Prior to discussing the student data and detailed recommendations, I will share the general information regarding the guidelines for rezoning and establishing the necessary district-wide rezoning committee. On page 4 of your public hearing packet, you will find the guidelines, and each school was requested to establish a rezoning committee to serve as part of the voting delegates on the rezoning committee. And each school committee is comprised of 5 members, one of which must be the administrator at the school, and no more than one of the 4 remaining members of the committee shall be employed by the school district. The remaining members of the district-wide rezoning committee include the chief of staff and strategy, the assistant superintendent for elementary school curriculum and instruction, the chief operating officer, chief finance officer for business and finance, and director of transportation. And we do want to do a quick thank you for the district-wide rezoning committee, and we appreciated their time and commitment to the students, schools, and our community. The purpose of the committee is all committee members were charged with the responsibility of making a recommendation to the school board this evening that is in the best interest of the students that have been impacted by the proposed rezoning process. It's important to remember that the voting committee members represented the communities they were serving on behalf of, and they set their own personal interests aside when they agreed to serve on our committee. On page 5, we do have the calendar, and we began this process in the early part of the year. On November 18th, the school board approved the calendar, allowing for staff to proceed with the process. We had 2 meetings this year on November 19th and December 4th. On November 14th and 16th, the public hearing notice advertised in both the Orlando Sentinel and the Osceola Star. We have provided a copy of the public hearing notice on page 7, and the final step is to review the plan this evening and request approval from the committee. At this time, I will present a summary of the rezoning committee's recommendation. And at the conclusion of the presentation, I will request Chair Cahoon to open the meeting for public comment relating to the plan, to close the public comment, and then request for comments and a vote by the school board. The plan to be presented this evening begins on page 9 of our packets, and this plan will modify both the attendance zone boundaries for Reedy Creek Elementary and Sunrise Elementary schools. On page 9, the plan reflects the existing schools that are impacted by the proposed plan. Column 1 will identify the study areas, which can be cross-referenced to a map on page 11. Column 2 identifies the current school of attendance for the K-5 students, and column 3 identifies the proposed elementary school of attendance. Page 10 depicts the proposed attendance zone boundaries if approved as presented. Page 11 depicts the study areas identified in column 1 on page 9. And page 12 provides the student population as of October 25th, FTE week by study area, and is depicted on the map on page 11. The matrix details the home zone school of attendance for each study area highlighted in color that correlates to the information on page 9 and the actual school of attendance for each student residing in the study areas. The summary of the information is at the time of the report, there were 167 students enrolled in the study areas impacted by the proposed plan. And of the 167 enrolled students, approximately 68 are electing to choice to schools other than their home zone school. The next chart provides student data by study area by school to be rezoned to Reedy Creek Elementary. On page 14, we have provided a 4-year summary of the 2 schools if the plan is approved as presented. The first column is the name of the school, so the top chart shows that we are referencing Reedy Creek Elementary. In column 3, we show that if there was no opportunity for choice in the school district, it represents the number of students that reside in the boundary if all students went to their home zone school. So currently there are 532 students that reside in the attendance zone boundary for Reedy Creek. Column 4 shows us that currently 234 students send out on a choice application. Column 5 shows us 48 students choice back into the school, giving them a current enrollment of 346 students. If this plan is approved as proposed, there would be 706 students eligible in the attendance zone boundary. 270 would choice out based on the information we have available to us on file today. We make the assumption the same 48 students will choice back in, giving them an opening enrollment of 484 students. And then we show you the data for 2 more years. And then we come down into the second chart and we show you the impacts to Sunrise Elementary School. So currently, as of this year, they have 1,066 students that reside in their attendance zone boundary, 386 choice out to other area schools and programs, 133 choice back into Sunrise Elementary, and in October FTE, they had an enrollment of 813. If the plan is approved as proposed, they will go to 889 students in the new attendance zone boundary, with approximately 310 continuing to choice out, 133 choicing in, giving them a new enrollment of 712 students. And then again, we give you the data for 2 additional years. Page 16 depicts Reedy Creek Elementary's attendance zone boundary if approved as proposed. Page 17 depicts Sunrise Elementary's attendance zone boundary if approved as proposed. And then on page 19, we provide you with a list of the a list of the streets that have been impacted by this proposed plan. At this time, the recommendation for the rezoning plan as presented includes the following. Approve the two modified elementary attendance zone boundaries for Reedy Creek and Sunrise Elementary effective the 26-27 school year. The rising fifth grade students for the 26-27 school year may remain at Sunrise Elementary with transportation provided by the parent, and it would be necessary for them to fill out a choice application through our Choice and Innovation Department. And the proposed plan was approved unanimously by the district-wide rezoning committee on December 4th and is being recommended this evening to the school board. At this time, I'll turn the public hearing back over to Chair Cahoon for public comments, school board comments, and a vote. Thank you.
I have no public comment notices with me tonight. Is there anyone here to speak on this matter? With that, public comment is closed. Is there any comment or questions from the board? Ooh. Mr. Cook, you are recognized.
Ms. Blake, I just wanted to thank you and the team and everybody that you pulled together to research this and then to make the recommendations.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate all the information that you shared to help us make a decision on this.
Seeing no other comments, do I have a motion? I have a motion by Mr. Cook. A second by Ms. Garcia. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. With that, our public hearing is closed.
And Merry Christmas.
We are now opening back up our regular board meeting as noted. We are on to agenda modifications. Dr. Shanoff?
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. We have one blue sheet item, 8.03, the approval of the service agreement between the Osceola School District and the Bailey Education Group. If public comment, or excuse me, the public content, the scope of services include teacher coaching, resource compliance specialist coaching, and student support. This is a grant that we received from the Florida Department of Education.
Thank you. Ms. Garcia, you are recognized. Mr. Cook, any items?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Castillo, any items?
No, ma'am.
With that, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as modified to add 8.03, our blue sheeted item? I have a motion by Ms. Garcia to approve the amended agenda and a second by Ms. Castillo. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Do I need to run 8 through then? Or is it part of, since we added it?
No, because we added the blue sheet.
With that, we are on to 14.03. I have a motion by Mr. Cook.
Second.
A second by Ms. Castillo. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. With that, we are on to public comment. I have one public comment in front of me, Mr. Ravi Khatri. Mr. Khatri, you'll have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Honorable Board Member and Honorable Osceola County Superintendent Mark Shanoff. Today I come before you to talk about how my son is impacted by recent ESC changes and what has been going on. First, I must recognize Dr. Shanoff has a great presence on social media, right? We see all his videos going around and handing Student or Teacher of the Year award to various schools, but I've never seen anything or any footage in which he goes to a behavioral hub school, get into the classroom and works with those students. Because If you go there, what you will find is a lack of behavior certified teachers in the classroom, lack of paraprofessional who are behavior certified in the classroom, but it seems like he never visits those our amazing kids, right? Um, Now, coming back to my situation with my son, before the ESE changes, my son used to go to Michigan Avenue Elementary School, and he was supported with great staff, great teacher, Miss Cortez, and all the other supporting staff, occupational therapist as well. And he was making really good progress. He went there 3+ year, and I didn't have to come to the board meeting for 3+ year. You never seen me there because he was getting good at writing, also a little bit of reading. He's nonverbal. Still, he was showing interest because they had a great team and great teacher working there. All of a sudden, with the ESC changes that were put in place with just no proper planning in place, the behavior hub went to a school who's probably not trained in the handling the complex behavior. So now my son's behavior is getting through the roof, right? And school is not able to manage it uh, uh, because they were never trained for it. And at, even as of today, there is no behavior certified teachers for my son in the school, right? Now, coming back to the recent IEP meeting, and you will find this, I would say funny. In the recent IEP meeting, a 8-year-old child, my son, has been blamed for not having the educated staff in the school. Because of my son, we don't have the teachers who are behavior certified. Because of my son, there is nobody to available to work in the school. Imagine that situation. It's like going to a hospital and you find out there are no doctors and nurses, and administration is blaming, okay, we get the patient with complex conditions, and hence we cannot have doctor and nurses because we are only looking for cold and flu, wherein we can prescribe antibiotics and that's it. So you'll look at the situation, you'll either laugh or you'll get angry or whatever, but I let you decide that. In the IEP meeting, and it's written in the IEP meeting that child is being blamed for it. In the IEP meeting, there is person Kathleen Kanuda who is threatening to sue us, right? If we do not accept the PM Well option for it. And PM Well has and my wife sent a detailed message about the PM Well to Dr. Shanahoff, and
Mr.
and
Khatri,
it's that option is not acceptable to us. So
I have-
all I'm asking is, you created this ESC changes, you created the top line revenue opportunity, you delivered north of $100 million back to the budget, but all we are asking is to help our kids with those funds, at least allocate $8 million.
Thank you for coming tonight and bringing this to our attention. We appreciate you being here. At this time, I don't see any other public comments in front of me. With that, public comment is closed. We are on to 16.01, our attorney comments.
Not have any comments this evening.
With that, we are on to our board member committee reports. Do we have any reports, Ms. Garcia? Ms. Castillo?
None other than we do have a safety committee meeting on Friday. So I look forward to that committee.
Great. Mr. Cook?
Committee member or committee updates, but I do have an update nonetheless. So I'm going to read from this. It's a little bit easier for me. Dear fellow board members, educators, and the constituents of District 3, one of the greatest honors of my life has been serving on the Osceola County School Board. It has been both a privilege and a profound responsibility to work alongside so many dedicated educators, administrators, and community members to advocate for our students. I'm deeply grateful for the trust placed in me to represent our district and to help shape a vision for the future of our schools, which I've served in for 20 plus years. After much reflection with a very heavy heart, I've made the difficult decision to resign from my position on the school board effective January 19, 2026. This is not an easy decision to come by and has been after a period of personal loss that has made it necessary to put my well-being and family first. I have further reached a point where under the current circumstances, I do not believe I'm able to serve effectively. I won't get into greater detail out of respect for my privacy and that of my loved ones. All I can say is that this decision was taken after much deliberation and prayer, not by just myself, but my inner circle as well. To my fellow board members, thank you for your dedication to the work we've accomplished together on behalf of our students here in Osceola County. To the outstanding educators and staff, your tireless dedication and compassion are the heart of this district. To my constituents, thank you for your trust, your engagement, and your belief in the power of education to transform lives. Even as I step away from this role, my commitment to our community and to the success of our students remains steadfast. I will always be proud of what we have accomplished together, and I have full faith in the continued progress and leadership of this board and district. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Dr. Shanoff, are you wanting to speak?
This is definitely difficult for the team to process. We appreciate all of the service that Mr. Cook has provided. His term on the board, his lifetime of service to the district as an employee. It's a very difficult thing to hear about the separation of Mr. Cook from our district. But I do want to say this. In a year, Mr. Cook has taught me so much about what it means to be an effective leader, how tough decisions sometimes are the right decisions, albeit not always popular. And in the darkest of days, you know who has your back when they check on you, when they still tell you you're doing a good job when everybody else is telling you that you're not. That's my experience with Anthony Cook. My experience is a personal experience. But there are thousands of people within our district and tens of thousands of students that have had that personal experience with Mr. Cook. They can speak to their own growth because of their relationship with Mr. Cook. I'm so grateful for the leadership lessons that you have taught me over the past year, because I didn't get the opportunity to work with you when you were an employee with the district. I had heard about you. I had seen all of your stuff. I recited a bunch of your stuff, but I never had the opportunity to work with you till I met you at Liberty High School during one of my former student success talks. And you listened and you participated, and nobody was a greater advocate for District 3, where you want to be. South side is the best side. West side is the best side. I just want to say that you've made that into a reality for District 3, and we'll continue that work. I'm incredibly grateful. I'm gonna let everybody else, if they choose to say something. But I will go ahead, and I would ask Chair at the end if you could please circle back to me, because I do have something for Mr. Cook.
Thank you. I don't have anything written down, so I don't want to mess it up. It's so interesting serving with fellow politicians. You wouldn't think you get along, but we have a great respect for everyone on this dais, including my fellow board members. And this is difficult, of course, and we want you to do what's best for you and your family, obviously. But I just wanted to publicly recognize you for
your lasting impression on our community that goes beyond the dais. And just thank you for sharing your time, your knowledge, your gifts with us. There are students whose lives you've changed, including my own daughter. You knew she was going to get into USF when I didn't. And you believed in her when I was freaking out. Yes. So just simply thank you for your commitment to our community, for the work you put in. You put in a lot of work this year. You've shown up every single time for this team, for our students, for our community. And we will never forget that. So thank you.
I would like to, yes. There's no one like Mr. Cook. His light, sorry, your light, your love, your respect for every single person around you is just something that it's a gift I only wish I had. You have the most uncanny ability to make every single person in your presence feel like they are the most important person in the room. And the love that you have for this district and the people that you work for and the way that you respect them and disagree with them and agree with them all at the same time is a quality that I can only hope to get a little bit of through the rest of my life. You are truly one of the most incredible people I have ever met, and your family is incredibly lucky to have someone that makes the hard decisions for them. And making those decisions is never easy, but just know that you have all of the respect and adoration from this district, this board, from me. And I appreciate working with you and knowing you and talking with you. I didn't prepare anything. I don't know what else to say. It's,
I'll leave it for later. Antonio, you know you're my friend. And I know that what we have, it's this team, it's been awesome. And you're being that cherry on top, the fun part, making everything easier, your advices. And I just want to thank you publicly because you're an awesome person. And we were so lucky to have you for a year here with us. And I don't want to cry, so I'll leave it there.
I didn't have anything prepared either, and but since everyone else spoke, I think one thing out there, you look at a board, I'm just going to assume the community looks at us and they think, especially in prior iterations maybe of this board, is that you shouldn't get along, you can't get along, you should be working against each other possibly to find the things within the school district maybe that people consider at fault. But we learn when we go to Florida School Board Association that we can be friends. We can talk about the F's, they say, food, friendship, family, football. I don't know. There's all these things. So as long as it's not something that comes across this dais that we're voting on, we can be around each other. We can talk. We can have relationships. And that is something that this board has committed to doing over the last year, all for the benefit of this school district and for these students. And Mr. Cook was an integral part in that. And like was said by many others on the dais tonight, District 3 was lacking the support in that community prior to him taking his seat. There wasn't someone championing for those students and for those schools and for those teachers. And Mr. Cook came in and was that voice for those students, those parents, those teachers. And I am, concerned of what will happen here on out, but I know that you have to do what's best for you and for your family. And I think that's something that all of us, as we learned this news, had in our mind was you come first as a person and as a friend before you do a fellow school board member. So with that, I just want to say I too appreciate your time on the board, and we will miss you immensely. Dr.
Thank you. Mr. Cook, could you join me? And board members, can you join me? So, on behalf of the school district and your fellow board members, we want to thank you for your tremendous work on behalf of the students and families, not just in District 3, but across the entire district. And so this says, the Osceola County School District proudly honors and acknowledges Anthony Cook for his leadership and service to the Osceola County School District as a school board member from 2024 to 2025. His dedication to the students of the district helped provide day one momentum, which inspired all during his tenure, given this 9th day of December, 2025.
With no other committee reports, this board meeting is adjourned.